Do you want to learn the secrets of watercolor that no one else knows? Then you need to watch this video. Let's talk today about Schmincke's Forest Gray, or as they say in German, Waldgrau. This is made of two colors. Now this is a really weird color because when you put it down on the paper first, it looks actually very chalky and opaque. And when it's in its dark areas, but when you get into those mid-value areas, which is what I'm doing right now in this test strip, I'm going from dark to light here first. When you get into those mid to light value areas, you're really going to start to see the two colors separate in the piece of paper. They're super green, of course, as the name suggests, but it's an amazing color. Here's a close-up of the colors. You can really start to see that the green settles into the paper first, and the red pigment that's in this kind of floats on top of the paper. It really does create beautiful separation. And now for my next test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down like a mid-value wash of the color on the paper and see if I can start to see some separation. If I don't start to see too much separation with the color, what we can do then is I'm going to come back in with my brush. And I'm just going to drop some water on top of the already wet paint. So we're working wet and wet at this point in time. And when you drop water on top of wet paint, what's going to happen is you're going to start to see colors that are in tubes separate. And in this case, you can see that the green is soaking into the paper first, and that the red literally is sitting right on top of it and floating on top of that. Oh, now look at those results. Doesn't that look fantastic? It actually looks really delicious, but please don't eat your paints, people. I shouldn't have to say that. For my final test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down like a light value wash of the color evenly across a small section. And I want to see if the colors separate with the light value wash. It doesn't really do a whole lot. The colors really don't separate too much. And I have no idea why this happened, but I assume at this point in time, you're actually getting just more of the red color off the paint than actually the red and the green at the same time. And that has something to do with the microns of the paints is what I would assume. But it doesn't do much, and it doesn't really blossom very much in the light value colors. Actually, this color doesn't blossom very much at all, which is interesting about the colors. And here I'm continuing to play around with the blossoming effect, just dropping some water on top of it while it's wet, trying to encourage blossom and separation of the colors. It's not as obvious in the light values or in the darker values, but in those mid-range tones, this color works really well. Look at that crazy granulation. If you're looking to add a realistic looking green to your collection, I do highly recommend the Schmincke Forest Green. It does come in sets. You can buy individual tubes yourself. They're not super bright, high chroma colors, kind of gray down colors, but super green. If you want texture, I highly recommend these colors. If you like this content, hit subscribe. I'll have more watercolor tutorials in the future. Thanks a lot and happy painting.